Okay guys, so I'm back. I'm going to install the invisible shield here. Now here's the shield itself. I've washed my hands. We have our squeegee. I tried this on the bottom flap. Let me show you that. You can see the difference right there? It's got a little bit of dust on it right now. Do you see the difference? This one does not have the invisible shield. This does. So far, after installing this, I have to say I was nervous about doing it, but I love it now that it's on. So now I've cleaned the top of the MacBook. Let me just wipe it down one more time. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different that they don't recommend, or not they recommend, but they don't tell you to do. Here is, first of all, it's on. They tell you to shut it down, but I'm going to line this with towels so I don't get anything in any port, because I do not want any liquid going in any part of the device. That is for sure. So I do not want, I'm actually not going to put the keyboard part on this MacBook. And the reason I'm not going to do that is because I have some malware things there already. So let's go ahead and close that. Got all our ports covered up, nice and clean, hands washed. Here's the invisible shield itself. It's going to lay just like that. So what you do is you spray your fingertips. You can do both sides. Actually, I probably should, because I'm handling both sides. You actually, once you take this off, you hold it and you spray it down. Not very dramatic. You just spray it down, and it does stick pretty good. In fact, there it goes. Okay. Got the corner started. It's taking a fair amount of work here to get it off of this sheet here. Okay. So you're gonna lay this out. You do not peel it like paper. You do not want it to lay on itself, or you're going to have a bit of an issue, because it is super sticky. See right there? Now you have, because I have my fingers wet, so I can go ahead and spray it. Okay, now you don't want it soaking wet, and you're going to lay it on top. Now I do see a little bit of, there. Lay it over here, and we lay it down. Now the cool thing about this is it actually, you can, because it's wet, you can kind of slide it into place. Let me wet my fingers again. Okay. Get it to lay right there, nice and flat. Okay. Now you can, as long as you keep this wet, you can move it around without any problem. If it's not wet, you're going to have an issue. Like right here, starting to dry out a little bit. See if we can get it back straight as possible. Okay. Now, I must say the last one I did was not quite this size of sheet, and it's going to take some patience to get this on here. I don't have a lot of patience, but once it's on, it's worth it. So it does not, let's see what it looks like in the back. Okay, it's pretty good around here. Only thing is it needs to go. It's sticking a little bit. Let's see. It says do not spray the device itself. The only thing I really don't want to be doing. There we go. Okay, so you can see it's on, but it's not perfect. And I have the towel, so when I squeegee, I don't have an issue. So there we go. Let's see if we can start to squeegee that out. Again, these towels here to catch some of this. Now this isn't, you want to spray the top too to help. And you get the air out of there. And now the bottom part, I may unscrew that. As I put in the MacBook memory before, it makes me a little nervous if I don't unscrew it. And for good reason. That's where all the electronics are. And you can see it's coming together. It does take some time. Now you want to guide these away from ports. We spray this a little bit more. Make it a little easier to squeegee. You want to guide all of this liquid away from the ports, which is obvious, but just make sure if you're doing an installation, you know, this is the biggest surface I have to do, so it's going to be the most difficult. And when we come back, when we're done with this video, I'll show you, you know, what it looks like with all of it on. Now, like I said, I'm not going to do the keyboard part because I already have a protector on there that I like. It's kind of a palm rest, if you saw that. And some of these edges stick up a little bit. Need a little more, just to kind of give it a little bit of a slip here. Now this aluminum is pretty sticky, but it's very durable, so it's not that big of an issue as far as pushing on this with a little bit of effort to get these bubbles out. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's very little liquid coming out of that. And I guess these imperfections will dry after some time. This stuff gets really tacky after you let it sit for about 15 minutes. Then it will start to form to these edges. Now, one thing I did notice is it's not perfectly cut along these edges. It's almost like it would need to be I mean, they say it's pretty perfect. In my own experience, I would say it's not. Very, very close, but not dead on, unless, you know, I'm assuming maybe it stretches a little bit. Come on, there we go. Lower the belt. There we go. So, as I work all these bubbles out, like I said, I'll come back and show you the finished result. I'm not going to record the whole video. In fact, you'll probably see clips of this. I mean, I only have a couple minutes left, you know, video anyway, before I run out of memory card space. So, like I said, you can see the end result of this is going to look nice. I can tell you that just from the bottom that I showed you before, looks really good. But the cool thing is if you don't like this, it comes right off. It comes off pretty easy, actually, from they say. So, palm this corner, see how we're doing here. So, that's pretty much applied. We just put pressure on the corners. Make sure we don't have any water or liquid in our ports, and we're good to go. Now, they do recommend you let this sit for 24 hours. Because if the solution gets in there at all or anything, I don't want it to ruin it. If it gets in there, I'm not going to be very happy, but it should be okay. And we'll see what it looks like when it's done.